gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Just here for a good time. Hopefully you are as well. Alright, what are we going to be going over today? Well, we're going to be going over a tank that's been in the game for quite some time, and I hardly ever see it. It's one of those tanks that kind of have to be an OG to really remember when this tank came out. I don't even remember the last time it's been sold. There's been other light tanks that have been sold besides this guy, like the LT multiple times. The Senlek has been out maybe twice now. AMX Defender has been offered quite a bit. Of course, the Swindler was with the weird season thing, but that's not what we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about the German light tank, the Black Dog, or the M4190. What is this tank? Well, it's a sneaky little bastard at times, and it has a very nice, well, high explosive rounds. With 107 pen up to 400 damage, you can definitely slap some people. It's heat rounds. Kinda wish they were not heat rounds, but it is what it is. But they're not bad with penetration. Armor piercing definitely does the job. Be looking at the stats of this tank here really quick. We're going to be going over the armor profile here. Not much to really show, but it doesn't really have much armor. Most things are going to HEU like butter. Your view range, it's alright. Your stationary camo is decent. While moving is decent. Upon firing, goes down the drain. You do have a good DPM with a reload. 8 degrees of gun depression. Make sure you use that gun depression at a top speed of 72 kilometers an hour, which isn't that bad, but 41 average. Your ground resistances, I think, are alright. Now, to compare it to the other German counterpart, the Hawk 30, you're looking at those stats as well. You have a bit more armor, you have a bit more view range. Concealment, I believe, is a tad bit better. Stationary firing is still the same. You do have less DPM, but you're also doing, I believe, less damage per shot. Yeah, but you do have those 10 degrees of gun depression, which makes you feel absolutely fantastic. And of course, power to weight ratio and all that stuff feels pretty good. Now, if I was to pick one or the other tank in what to pick for a German light tank, if you want a German light tank at tier 8, I would definitely go with the Hawk nowadays. I mean, you still get that high explosive. It doesn't go as high, but you get 10 degrees of gun depression, you get better camo, because this guy has kind of been power crept. It's really kind of just there now when it goes into the game, unless if the player knows how to use it. There are definitely better light tanks I would say to get now at tier 8, and some of those tanks I'm gonna say is going to be the Senlek. It's a very amazing tank. Same thing, the AMX Defender. It's a great tank if you love autoloaders. This is another great tank. A lot of people run the RU. It's very similar to the Hawk. You don't have to buy anything. It works great. T49? Well, it depends on what gun you're using. But overall, this tank is kind of just there. If you're a more experienced player and you understand how things work, I would definitely recommend getting this tank now, if you don't have it. Or even take it out for a spin. Now, of course, you newer players, I wouldn't recommend it because its touch has been lost. This tank used to be one of those type of tanks where everyone used to spam it. It used to be like the Type 62 when it got first released. You saw that thing everywhere. Platoons, it was just everywhere. But this tank definitely helped shape a lot of the game back in the old days. And this is one of the golden eras I missed, is when light tanks were huge meta and huge, they had a huge impact on the game. I feel like the game now is totally heavy-sided. Alright, we're gonna be on Lagoon, one of my favorite maps for light tanks, or very quick mediums. It's a fun map. There's a lot of twists and turns and flanks you can achieve. Where we're going to be going to the basic light spot. We could boost up that hill, but I don't want to. I don't want to get rushed, because this tank does not survive rushes very well. We're going to be seeing if anyone goes. Well, AMX is going to go for it. Might as well. 54 lightweight, get spotted. We're gonna go up here. See if we can spot anything struggling behind. Looks like they're in the base. Think about it. Yeah, if they're gonna stay in that base, why not go clear out this line of tanks? For that 54. Made him into a one-shot. We're gonna be clearing him here. Ooh, AMX gets shut down by the ISU, which means we can try to put a HE shell into him. Hits the tracks instead. We do have a 77 behind us. It goes after me instead. Okay, understandable. I will wrap around you. WZ is going to be helping us at the IS-2 shield. That's the IS-2 shield. Put a nice Hesh round in there. Premium round, make sure we pin that. Lower plate. Not much to really. Oh, we gotta avoid this guy. Kind of just aiding your team, baiting shots if you can. You're lucky if you get them to bait. Gonna clear off the Gravedigger. So really, how should you play this tank? Got an eye on playing it right now. You play it as a spotter, a supporter, and an aggressive little guy. You want to keep that gun firing. You want to find opportunities to use your Hesh. You've got 8 rounds of Hesh still. Try to use Hesh on this guy. Bad aim. Try to avoid that. Put around into him. We're gonna back up, trying to get the K2 to. He misses. We're gonna be able to finish him off. Drop the adrenaline. 4 tanks, 2,600 damage so far. Tried tracking him there. I'm gonna go for a track here. Am I playing it versus a bot? Load that Hesh up. Get that damage out. The low roll, man. Freaking guy stole it. Otherwise, I could have 5 kills. Dang, kids. Anyways, pretty simple battle. I mean, we're gonna secure ourselves a Top Gun, high caliber, the Golden Arches. For 3,731 damage, 400 blocked, damage 6, destroyed 4. Decent amount of credits and experience earned. Definitely carried that team to victory. Great job for this guy being able to do 3,346 in that tank. I absolutely hate that thing with a passion. But what do I think? Do I think this tank is worth it? Do I think it is still a good tank? It used to be. There's better options now. I mean, you might as well go play the Sunlac, you might as well go play the LT, you might as well go play the Hawk 30. They're better tanks. This guy, it's collecting dust in, I would say, 90% of its players' garages. But if you have an interest in this tank, I guess here's a simple review for you. There's really not much to talk about for this tank, besides flank people, be aggressive in it, in a way where you're not bullying people and up in their face. Just, use your mobility, get around them, fire that hesh if you can. Otherwise, keep going to town. Not a bad tank, it's not hard to ace, and this is a smallish game for this kind of tank. Anyways, guys, hopefully you get an idea about this tank, and kind of if you want to get it, if it ever does come out. It probably will come out in the Christmas auction events. Anyways, GG's, take care everyone, have a good day.